Pelrine Omnitel versus Grixis Delver. Pelrine will be on the play, and our quarterfinals are done. Our semifinals are underway.
Dylan Donegan, this is his 6th Open top 8 at the young age of 18.
He's a pretty good Magic player. Young and good, and loves the game. And what's really impressive, too, is that he's very skilled in Legacy. A lot of these cards are kind of older than him.
Definitely.
So that's actually really notable.
Well, it's a format that people pick up via experience, and you wouldn't expect him to have that much at this young age. But it's proved us wrong. Of half his top 8 opens, half of his open top 8s are in Legacy, for example.
Preordained, 1 on top, 1 on bottom there for Josh. Picked up a copy of Force of Will. Dylan going to start with a Misty Rainforest, and now a Deathrite Shaman for a little bit of acceleration.
And that will be the main goal of Deathrite Shaman in this matchup. Not much graveyard interaction in Omnitel. But mana, if you're getting ready for any sort of counter war, always a welcome thing to have.
Pluto Delta will be sacrificed by Josh. He'll go down 19 as well. Tie game as he does search up a land. Oftentimes just searching up basic islands in the Omnitel deck. There are a couple of non-basics to search for, but...
Yeah, he does have 2 Volcanic Islands for some sideboard options, but in the main, though, he is just mono blue. And especially against something like a Delver deck, he'll try to just get the basic islands when possible.
Another Preordain here for Josh.
Emrakul among the cards he could have. Don't know where he's sitting with the rest of his combo, both top.
Pelrine taking a Flooded Strand there.
It looks like he does have a Show and Tell in hand, Emrakul on top of the deck. So next turn, maybe go time. Does have a Gitaxian Probe in hand as well, so if he chooses to combo, he'll know whether or not it's safe.
At the end of the day, even though it's a different Show and Tell deck, it's still a Show and Tell deck, and Show and Tell decks are very scary to play against. And if Show and Tell does resolve against Dylan, chances are Pelrine's going to win. Let's see what Dylan's got now. He'll play a Brainstorm.
Yeah, Omnitel not going to fight too much over these kind of cards. He may Spell Pierce here, and a reason being is that if he's planning to use Show and Tell next turn, then he's just not going to get to use the Spell Pierce at any relevant part of the game. So he may as well try to deny Dylan a Brainstorm, or at the very least deny him a land.
Daze will take care of the Spell Pierce, which means the Brainstorm's going to resolve. So Dylan drawn 3 cards already, and now, of course, he'll have to put 2 back, and we'll see if he has a fetch land to make it a solid Brainstorm here. But that is also 1 less Daze that Pelrine has to worry about when attempting to go off next turn.
Yeah, Pelrine has got to be happy to have gotten a Daze for that card.
Yep.
It's really on Pelrine's side, especially when you're playing a blue combo deck. It's just a counting game of who has more counter spells that will be live in the upcoming fight. Pelrine has more in his list, but does he have more in his hand? Gitaxian Probe will help him with that question.
Underground C has been searched for. And now here's a Probe. Show you a Cunning Wish, a Probe, a Force of Will, a Show and Tell, and land number 3, which is Flooded Strand. And, well, the mystery card on the top of the deck, well, Josh knows what it is. Dylan doesn't, though.
Yeah, that's the big guy. 15-15.
And Dylan will draw a card.
So it is a Show and Tell with 1 counter spell to back it up. It's Force of Will. If he Gitaxian Probes and sees something he doesn't like, Pelrine can, instead of going for the combo immediately, he can use Cunning Wish instead to try to get a Flusterstorm and then combo the following turn.
Dylan going to shuffle with his Ponder.
Sometimes you'll see something like a Flusterstorm or even a Pact of Negation in the sideboard just for that.
A mystery card coming. Donegan definitely can tell he's in some trouble right now. If they keep top with Preordain, I wouldn't be feeling great.
You'd assume that the top card is either an Omniscience or an Emrakul.
Yeah. Deathrite Shaman going to remove a land. Here's a Delver of Secrets. Josh says that's fine. Dylan already played a land this turn because he picked up one with Daze. So.
Josh, pointing that one out.
Pelrine will draw. We're going to get a Taxiing Probe here to start it.
Shields appear to be down outside of Dazes and Force of Wills.
There is a Daze in hand for Dylan.
But that's it, and Josh has the Force of Will, so the coast is clear.
Yep. Lightning Bolt doesn't matter, lands don't matter, Daze is beatable. Pelrine will draw another copy of Show and Tell. There's a fetch land. This turn, he'll move a little bit faster.
Oh, and if you're in Dylan's spot, you can tell by Josh's pacing that you are probably dead.
And Dylan has seen Josh's hand.
Yep.
So he knows exactly what's over there. He's just hoping that, hey, maybe you don't have something to put into play with Show and Tell.
Yeah, well, the problem is that the hand is one card away from the combo, and Josh had just topped off a Preordain. So you have to assume the other card he topped is the missing piece.
Yep. There's a Force of Will. This is removing Cunning Wish. That will take care of the Daze at the cost of 1 life.
You know, all Dylan has to bring Show and Tell as a land.
Well, and Josh has an Emrakul, so that's cool. Dylan can check with Delver. And he knows he's beat. He'll concede the game. Josh Pelrine going to win game number 1 here over Dylan Donegan. Omnitel very quickly up a game over Grixis Delver. Players got to go to the sideboards, get a better idea of what they're looking at, and we'll take a look at the sideboards as well. We're going to be starting with Dylan Donegan and his Grixis Delver deck. You'll find an Ancient Grudge, 4 copies of Cabal Therapy, a Dismember, a Dread of Night, a Pithing Needle, 2 Pyroblasts, along with a Red Elemental Blast, a Sulfuric Vortex, 2 Surgical Extractions, and a Vendilion Click. What do we like here?
Well, this is interesting. So not all the Grixis, some of the Grixis Delver decks have had the Cabal Therapies in the main deck. Dylan has them in the sideboard. That said, this is a mono blue combo deck. He certainly wants all 4 Cabal Therapies in here. Outside of that, he has 2 copies of Pyroblast and 1 copy of Red Elemental Blast, which all should be excellent, in addition to a Vendilion Click. So he has 8 really quality cards to board in this matchup. And I expect them all to come in. If he has enough dead cards in his main deck, he could even go the route of Surgical Extraction, but that one is likely to not matter.
On the other side here for Josh Pelrine, he's got a lot of 1-0s because of a Cunning Wish sideboard. So Eldamri's Call, like Trickery, Firemind's Foresight, Flusterstorm, Intuition, Release the End, Surgical Extraction, Wipe Away. Those are cards you typically wish for. Now, the 2 of in Young Pyromancer, Lightning Bolt, and Pyroblast are interesting, along with 1 copy of Pyroclasm. I actually wouldn't be surprised to see the Pyroclasm come in. It seems good in this matchup.
The Pyroclasm seems pretty reasonable. I'm not entirely certain where the Young Pyromancer plan is on, but this is why he has the red splash, is that he can board into Pyroclasm and Pyroblasts out of the sideboard, which should all be very good in the matchup. Even something like Flusterstorm might come in.
Well, those are the options for the 2 players. And we'll be underway here for game number 2 in just a moment. But if you've been watching the broadcast all weekend long or following along on StarCityGames.com, you know about the summer sale that we're doing all month long. We got a new sale every day for you at 11 a.m. And so we brought this one to you today because every day does mean Saturday and Sunday after all. 25% off select full art basic lands on the website right now until tomorrow morning. So be sure to check out Star City Games every single day all August long, so you can see what new summer sale we will have for you each day. Right now, again, it is 25% off select full art basic lands. StarCityGames.com for more information about our summer sale. As we do get ready here for game number 2 between Dylan Donegan and Josh Pelrine. It's Grixis Delver and it's Omnitel, 2 really popular decks as far as we saw on our metagame breakdown.
Absolutely, yeah. These were among the most popular decks. Omnitel has been the combo deck of choice this weekend. Storm put up some good numbers. Those we mentioned, it ended up being 8 different decks into the top 8.
That's Legacy at its finest right there. Now, Dylan Donegan, a player from North Carolina area, we mentioned how young he is. He's only 18 years old, from Cary, North Carolina. He's got an Invitational top 8, and that one top 8 that he did have, well, it was a win at the Season 4 Invitational last year in Seattle, Washington, which qualified him for the Players' Championship. 5 Open Series top 8s before this one, so we got to update this graphic because it's 6 now. And it could be 6 with a win if he's able to get by Josh, though he is down a game currently. He's the youngest Invitational champion in Open Series history, a huge basketball fan, much like myself. That's why we get along so well. And he likes to bang on the drums, which is what he's going to college for, going to college on a music scholarship. He's young, and he's pretty gosh darn good.
Yeah.
He's even got an elemental token.
Which is nice. Yeah, it's pretty fitting. Has one. He has had a lot of his legacy success on the backs of Delver decks, specifically those with cards like Young Pyromancer.
Yeah. We'll see what goes on with his Magic career. You know, this is kind of the summer before he goes to college. I know that during that summer, 5 decades ago, all I did was play Magic and well, that's just all I did, actually. It was just play Magic all summer long and traveled and went to PTQs and all of that stuff. And Dylan's doing that right now in the Open Series and the professional circuit as well. So we'll see what his career looks like as he makes his way through college. Hopefully he continues to play because he is really good, and you can tell he really enjoys playing Magic. He was really thrilled to get that win over Chris Anderson as he peeled that land to cast the Dread at night and make another top 8 here. He's going to start off with a copy of Deathrite Shaman.
Remember, these post-board games much stronger for Dylan as he has a strong 8-card sideboard.
Underground Sea, the land of choice off that Misty Rainforest. That's why he's at 19. Pelrine made it look pretty easy in game 1. But you have to imagine there'll be more interaction from Dylan this game.
Yeah, what it worked out to be was that Pelrine, when it came down to the counterfight, Pelrine had one more counterspell than Dylan. And that's how you'd expect this to go. Omnitel sets up well for that fight. Post-board, that's not always the case. Grixis Delver has nearly as many counterspells as Omnitel, so a lot more finesse is required on Josh's part. Either he needs to cantrip better, needs to combo quicker, or needs to just hope that he draws better.
Here's a Ponder. Pelrine will consult the hand as he looks at these 3 cards, decide if he wants to keep them, if he does, which order, or if he wants to shuffle them away and take a mystery card. Josh giving this a long look. Important to get these cantrips right with this Omnitel deck. He's going to keep. Pass the turn back over to Donegan. Remember Donegan with a lot of copies of Cabal Therapy in the sideboard this weekend.
Cabal Therapy is certainly a card which has had some resurgence this tournament, especially in these Young Pyromancer Grixis decks.
Very, very good card in combination with Young Pyromancer. Here's a Delver of Secrets. And just a passing on the turn. No second land, no attack with the Deathrite Shaman.
Well, presumably he needs to leave up a blue mana in case Pelrine has a colorless land that makes 2 and goes for a show and tell here. What that would say to me at the very least is that Dylan does not have a Force of Will in hand.
Pelrine's second land is a Polluted Delta. Quick update for you, Shaheen Sarani, well, never losing ever, does win game number 1 with his Esper Stoneblade deck against Josh Denman Jeremy Denman playing Teamer Delver.
So both the Delver decks down a game in the semis.
Yeah.
For Josh.
It would be foolish of me to think that Esper Stoneblade loses to Omnitel, right? That would be a dumb thing for me to think. I think Shaheen would have a bad matchup against this combo deck, but, well, I've thought he's had a bad matchup like all tournament long.
Well, you've been waiting for matchups where he can use Telemann Performance, and actually that's another one where he can.
It's true. Here's an Impulse. A long time since I've seen one of these cast.
Yeah, so Impulse is a 1-of in the deck. So one of the reasons Impulse is actually here is that the card Firemind's Foresight, which is part of his Wish sideboard, lets you get a 1, a 2, and 3 mana instant, and the deck traditionally does not play any 2 mana instants, so it is a 1-of so that you can get 3 cards using Foresight. The idea is that you want to pick a card that gives your deck some utility. Impulse, despite being a lackluster cantrip, is fine, though a little overpriced for Legacy.
Well, Impulse got countered, and now here's a Pyroblast going after Show and Tell. Spell Pierce is going to go after that. Does Donegan have another counter spell? Because if he doesn't,
big fight happening.
He's going to die. Here's Force of Will, removing a blue card.
Can Pelrine counter back? He got a 2-for-1.
He cannot.
Dylan lives to fight another day, but it cost him most of the cards in his hand. Pelrine still looks like he has 3 or maybe 4 cards left.
Yeah, Dylan's got to speed up and try to get this game over with. Now, when you keep a 1-lander, of course, your hand is going to have a lot of spells in it, so here's a Brainstorm.
Yeah, his next turn would be a pretty solid 1-lander. His deck doesn't really want much more.
Donegan will have to put 2 back, of course, and we'll see if he's got a fetch land to do any perfect brainstorming with. Deathright Shaman got to remove in Misty Rainforest. Here's a Cabal Therapy.
So named Omniscience did hit.
Dig Through Time, Cunning Wish, Misty Rainforest, the cards left over for Pelrine. One thing to note about this Omnitel deck, if you've never really seen it in action, it's super easy for it to cast Dig Through Time.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering, if Dylan really wants to Dig Through Time, he had an expensive option where he could have sacrificed one of his creatures to therapy it. Opted not to.
Yep. Spell Pierce the draw. Pelrine will just pass the turn back. Donegan will take a draw step.
Little thought, I guess, so he doesn't want. I thought he might try for a Dig Through Time during Dylan's upkeep.
Yeah, I was thinking Dig Through Time on the upkeep. You could spike 2 perfects.
Yeah.
You could spike Show and Tell plus Omniscience in the Dig Through Time. Because, I mean, from here, I don't have a great look at Dylan's hand. I'm sensing a little bit of weakness in his hand. Dylan going to remove, and now he's going to cast Cabal Therapy.
Took the time to first deal 2 damage, and I like just the arithmetic that Dylan has done here to make that play, putting Josh to 6, which is exactly 2 Insectile Aberration hits.
For Pel right now, you're going to sacrifice that land. You're going to go down to 5. You're going to cast Dig Through Time and try to spike it.
Well, yeah, and 5's not trivial either, because what that means is that Ancient Tomb becomes unusable unless he's winning that turn.
Yep.
That plus the 3 from Delver. And I like your term, can he spike it? Gonna go for the 2-mana Dig Through Time.
Dig Through Time again. A lot of people have described this deck not as a Show and Tell deck that has Dig Through Time. It's a Dig Through Time deck that has Show and Tell in it.
And Dylan stops him right there. Another force of will. So Josh will not get to Dig Through Time.
Josh has a copy of Cunning Wish in hand. Not sure where that leads him.
Well, let's see if we look through his sideboard. At the very least, he could Cunning Wish for Pyroclasm. That would keep himself alive.
Cunning Wishing for a sorcery is really hard to do.
Oh, right. We can't do that one. My mistake.
Now, if he wants to get...
Yeah, he could get, he has a Lightning Bolt in his sideboard.
And he can also get a Pyroblast if he wants.
Right. Yes, he can wish for an answer to the Insectile Aberration. There was an Electrickery in his sideboard. That one not good here. It doesn't answer if Young Pyromancer were to get out of control. The card draw he has is 1 Intuition, which is fairly standard.
Don't know if he's boarded in all of his Pyroblast here, but he has a Lightning Bolt. Okay.
There's Cunning Wish for Lightning Bolt. It's an expensive Lightning Bolt.
Duh.
Well, I mean, yeah, he'll pay. That costs him 2 life, down to 3. I mean, 3's not terrible. Means he can still use Ancient Tomb once more, as long as he never takes damage from Dylan again. What could go wrong there?
Yeah. We're going to play a little draw go now, I think. That was a good draw. Is he going down to, he's going down to 1 right now? Oh, boy.
Well, he'd have to tap it. Right, he has to go to 1 to cast this, but that is the top deck for Josh Pelrine.
Dylan,
oh, wow.
He looks really happy. He looks really happy about what's happening right now. And Josh is very quickly selected 2 cards.
Oh, goodness. This is just Show and Tell and Ponder were the 2 cards.
Yeah, now here's a Ponder. Show and Tell, Ponder, and another Dig Through Time.
Well, remember, that Ancient Tomb is just not there anymore.
Yeah, that's... You can flip that upside down.
So what he might do is use Ponder to draw into Ponder, and then draw Dig Through Time the next turn, and just kind of fill up the graveyard again, Dig Through Time again, have the combo.
It's a Dig Through Time deck that wins with Show and Tell. Not the other way around. That's what so many people have said about this deck, and Dig Through Time is showing its power right now. Here's another Ponder.
Fetch line doesn't seem particularly good. Has a wish. So let's go back to the wish board. What he can actually get at this point. There's still an intuition left in his wish board. I don't know how many, depending on how many omnisciences he's boarded out, he could perhaps wish for cunning or intuition for 3 omnisciences.
I agree. It feels a little slow.
Yeah.
It is, because this turn he would have to wish for intuition. Next turn, cast intuition with the omnisciences. The next turn, cast show and tell, assuming that it resolves. It feels a little slow. Maybe it's his best line of play right now.
Yeah. Remember, you can't intuition for Emrakul's because there are only 2 in the deck. That would, that seems like the easy part of the 2-card combo, but this is not sneak and show. They don't play the full set.
But he's going to take Cunning Wish instead of shuffling with Ponder and just drawing a mystery card. Now, Dylan does have good draws here. Don't get it wrong. A card like Lightning Bolt is good. It's a game over, obviously. Dylan's reaching for his hand.
Wish.
There's a dip. Yep, that's...
No, cannot pay. Nope.
Nope. Can't pay.
But what that does do is put the 4th card in the graveyard for Josh, and he has drawn that dig through time. So, sure, that's fine. I think he would have liked it to resolve, but...
Dig through time is busted.
Yeah. And Josh wisely here, you see he's upkeep dig through timing because he knows the top card is something he doesn't want. So he'd rather have a random card for his draw step post dig through time. Josh, holding outside. We're not going to... He'll keep us in suspense as well.
Yeah.
It's a lot of tanking for someone who found, if he had found Emrakul.
Dylan is just sitting here hoping he bricks, as this is the 3rd dig through time that Pelrine has cast.
That's so many cards. It's 20. Looking at 21 cards. Looks like he's kept a Pyroblast among it in his hand.
Any lightning bolts to be had for Mr. Donegan? Deathrite Shaman.
Deathrite seems great. I'd be down for that one. It's just a land for Dylan. And now that Josh gets to untap, this does not look good for Dylan. 3 mana, we know what that means.
Yeah, that's show and tell.
And it looks like he has an Emrakul in hand, and I believe the 4th dig through time, as well as a Pyroblast. Remember, if Dylan has kept a land in his hand and has lightning bolts in his deck, he can even survive an Annihilator hit from Emrakul.
Yep. So it feels hopeless, but it's not over. But if Dylan does have a fetch line, he can't play it.
See him looking over and he knows. Does he have a way? What are his outs? What is he playing toward?
Surgical Extraction.
Surgical away, the dig through time. There's only 1 dig through time left in the deck. But well, good on you, Dylan. It's in his hand, so you got him.
It is in his hand. I think he's just going to concede the game. Yep, he wanted to see exactly what he had in hand. Did he have something to put in? And he did. Josh Pelrine's going to win this match over Dylan Donegan 2-0. Omnitel is going to take care of Grissus Delver. It's been a great run for the 18-year-old from North Carolina, but his tournament is over. Pelrine moves on to the finals to play the winner of Jeremy Denman and his Teamer Delver deck, or Esper Stoneblade in the hands of